Welcome to Good Thing, Bad Thing. I am Jabby Kouay.
And it's your boy, Sintel.
This is a show where two self-righteous, pompous assholes talk about random shit for your entertainment. Here's my good thing. I'm just gonna cut straight to it. My good thing, and don't be weirded out when I say this, my good thing is your life. People put value in their shit over their life to a degree that is really disturbing. There's this story that came out recently in London where this guy, he went on this trip with his son and bought this hat, right? This this top hat, and his son convinced him to wear it to work one day, and he wore it to work, and everyone was like, "Wow, that hat suits you. It suits you so well." And he never looked back. He wore that hat every single day to work. And one day he's on a train, and these bullies come up to him, and they're like, "Can we wear your hat? Can we try on your hat?" And he just felt uncomfortable with the situation, the way they were approaching him.
Right.
And he's like, "No, you can't wear my hat." And they kept antagonizing him, asking to wear his hat. And they followed him, they cornered him, they beat him up. They took his hat, kicked him down, broke his nose, and ran off with his hat. And now he's sad because his hat is gone. And I'm like, dude, you should have given him the fucking hat. It's not that fucking important. Your stuff isn't more valuable than your life. Your life is a good thing. This is just one example of many. The worst offenders are the people with their phones, where they jump into like bear cages and shit to get their phone,
right,
and they end up getting killed.
Yeah.
This shit is replaceable, especially if you got the cloud or if you got shit backed up to your computer.
That's true.
Be smart about it.
Yeah.
Let the shit go, remotely erase your phone, and you're cool.
Yeah. I agree, man. I feel the same way when it comes with road rage. Is nothing infuriates me more than road rage, because I am a victim of it. And I'm saying this because I'm at fault of it as well. Somebody cuts me off, gives me the finger. You know, it's like, who the fuck are you to flick me off after you get done cutting me off? You drive up to them, cuss them out, you know, do some stuff where you drive over and try and cut them off, you know. But the thing is that's fucking retarded.
It's childish.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'll admit, I do have some road rage from time to time, and I have a jazz station that I turn to when I start getting road ragey, because music has a thing where it kind of, you know, it can kind of calm you down and soothe you.
I need a jazz station.
You know, but I've never been so bad that I've run anybody off the road. But, you know, I've definitely driven up next to somebody just so, you know, you give them the look, you pull up and you're like, and you give them the...
You just want to see their fucking face. You want to see the face of this fucking asshole
right,
who disrespected you.
Right. It's like, you're going to acknowledge the fact that you did some dumb shit.
Yeah.
And you know, I give them the strong look.
Right.
You know, in the back of my head, I'm like, yeah, Sintel.
Right.
You told him.
Right. I got different responses to those situations. I'm the one that fucked up.
Right.
Sometimes I'm like, I'm sorry. Like I do the little Japanese bow. Right. So sorry. Right. Or I smile at them, which just makes them more angry. They pull up, I'm like, hi. They're like, no. And I'm like, bye.
Yo, but the thing is, like that's really, I can actually picture you doing that. But the thing is that somebody cutting you off is not that important.
No, it's not. It can mean your life.
Exactly, especially in this city.
Dude, I've got so
Especially
many good stories. I remember I was in Burbank once. This is one of the few times a cop has had my back. So I'm driving down Burbank, and I'm approaching Victory, and I'm trying to get into the right lane, but there's like, for whatever reason, I couldn't get inside the right lane. And so I had to like jump ahead, and this car just wouldn't let me in. So I had to cut him off. And then he gets in front of me, and he's just like, he won't let me change lanes. He keeps getting in front of me and fucking with me on the road.
Right.
I'm just fucking boiling at this point, right? And I somehow find a way to get ahead of him, and I flip him off.
Uh-huh.
So he starts tailgating me
right
around Burbank. And so somehow I make my way back around up to First Street, and I see a cop on the other side of the island about to make a left.
Right.
So what I do is I drive up and I hit the brakes right on the opposite side of the island. The cop's right there next to me, and I'm like, this guy's following me. He's following me. You got to pull him over. And the cop's like, okay, I'll pull him over. So I take off, and I look in my rearview mirror, and the cop pulled the dude over. Thank you, Burbank police. But it's like, that could have been my life. Like, I didn't know if that guy had a gun. I don't know if anything could have happened.
Yeah.
I got one more quick story for you.
Go.
And so we were at Olive Garden. This is my birthday. And my dad had the worst road rage ever. And my dad was pretty racist, but like in a very self-effacing kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
We were at Olive Garden, of all places, at the Burbank Empire, and he's trying to park. And what happens is this guy, this Hispanic family in one of those trucks with the house on the back, is like driving by.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
He's like driving by, and he beeps at my dad for waiting for that spot. And my dad goes, "Hey, I'm Mexican too." And my dad is like, not Mexican at all. He's Italian. And the guy gets so mad. He gets out of his car. He pulls his shirt off, and he wants to fight my dad. And he's like, "I'm not a fucking Mexican. I'm Peruvian, motherfucker." And he's like getting up in my dad's face. And my dad's just like sitting there quietly. And all of a sudden my dad goes, "Pah!" And he clocks the dude. And he goes, "You want to fight, motherfucker?" And he gets back into his little Irish dance. I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe what just happened. And the dude turns and goes, "You see what he just did? He just hit me. He just hit me." I'm like, "You motherfucking pussy, how dare you? You were all up in my dad's shit. He pulls the Irish on you and you're gonna fucking get mad at him?" God damn. And then my dad felt like shit the rest of the day. He goes into the restaurant with his tail between his legs because he felt bad. He felt bad about hitting the guy. He felt bad about being racist, which my dad was kind of daily, but in a funny way.
He's like the Archie Bunker.
Yeah,
kind of
but it's like he doesn't mean it. He's got friends of all ethnicities. He speaks like 27 different fucking languages.
What?
My dad loves everybody, but he's super racist in a funny, sarcastic, dry humor kind of way. And that was an incident where it blew up in his face, basically.
Right.
And he felt bad.
See?
So road rage, and that's not even road rage. That's just a car thing.
Right.
Parking lots can be way worse. I almost got into a fist fight over a parking spot at Target.
Right.
Where I called the guy a bitch.
See?
I call the dude a bitch, and I'm like, because what happened was we both saw this spot. Target is the worst fucking place to get parking.
Right.
And so I drove around to get to the spot, and he took the straight path, and I like wheeled in really hard, and I almost like killed an old lady in the process.
Jesus
and
Christ.
So the guy pulls up, he's like, "That was my spot." I'm like, "Why you gotta be a bitch about it?" And he's like, "Why you gotta call me a bitch for?" And he opens his door, and I'm like, I'm just saying. You know, there's a lot of parking spots. Because the thing about it is, like, if a fight was to happen, I would have thrown down. I'm a martial artist, but I don't know if this guy's got more martial arts than me. Like, I don't know if his XP is higher than my XP. You know what I'm saying? And so I like quickly, I'm like, "Dude, look, I'm just saying there's a lot of spots around."
That's the beautiful thing about getting older, and especially when you're like paying for healthcare. Like my physical well-being plays a huge part in a lot of day-to-day decisions. Like, I don't even play basketball that much anymore. And I love playing basketball, you know, because I'm afraid of taking that hard foul. I always have like this vision of me falling down and me knocking my teeth out or breaking my ankle or whatever it is, because now I'm thinking about the deductible.
Right.
You know?
Right. Money factors in.
Yeah. And then not only that, my healing factor, my mutant ability.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's like half diminished. It's almost gone. I wake up with like all kind of crazy aches and pains. And in the few scrapes I've been in, and I've been in more than I care to admit, you know, the after effect of being in a good tussle the next morning, it sucked when I was young.
Yeah, PTSD,
you know,
man.
Oh man, it sucked. You waking up and your ribs aren't the same.
But when you talk about it,
your jaw, when the adrenaline is pumping and you're young and you can bounce back.
No, but when you talk about it afterwards, you're like, "Oh, I was the man. I was the man." People don't even fight fair anymore.
No.
It's like it's your life is not worth giving up those possessions.
Exactly.
Your life is not worth getting into a fight over it. Your life is too valuable for that shit.
Exactly.
Just let it go. Just let it go. Put on some jazz music.
Yeah, it works, man.
Follow Sintel's advice. All right, what's your good thing?
Stephen Hawking, relatively recently, he made an announcement saying that he doesn't think it would be a really good idea if aliens were to come to Earth and for us to meet aliens. He said, just pretty much look at our past as human beings. Anytime we go to a new place in a new land and find another group of people there, you know, it's typically somebody goes there, dominates, controls, enslaves, all that. And he's pretty much in a nutshell saying that aliens would do the same thing to us. Yeah. And I disagree. I think meeting aliens would be a good thing, because one of the main reasons is that if you're technologically sound enough to travel to another world, you're probably so advanced that you would look at the human species the way we look at algae. They might do damage to us just because we're not on their scale of relevance for, you know, like if you're walking down the street and you step on an ant, you didn't do it maliciously. You just didn't give a shit. You weren't paying attention. I think aliens might treat us like that. But the plus sides of getting an opportunity to uncover the truth that we're not alone in this world is going to be major. 2, to get an opportunity to look at what evolutionary leaps are possible, and maybe apply that to our own species. And 3, maybe, just maybe, they might just give a shit and want to talk to us and like kind of sun us a little bit, and give us kind of like some clues to what the universe is about.
I got a few responses to all that stuff.
All right.
So first and foremost, I firmly believe that there is other life in this universe.
Yeah, I do too.
Because there have already been discovered other Earth-like planets just in our backyard. There's other Earth-like planets that are pretty relatively close. Not close enough to fucking throw a rock at, but they're close enough that we can see them surrounding dwarf stars. Right. I am certain there's life on those planets, provided that the circumstances are correct. They're in the Goldilocks zone, which makes them an Earth-like planet, and they've got a Jupiter of their own that prevents asteroids from destroying any life that's there. There is definitely other life. How advanced they are is a whole other conversation.
Right.
If an alien species was to be able to make it over here,
right,
I don't think they would even give us the time of day. Now, here's why. Our closest relative on Earth. I mean, we're basically all kind of we're related to trees in the weirdest way, but
and bananas. We share damn near like 3/4 of the same chromosome as a banana.
So, look at how we behave with apes and monkeys.
Right.
That's our closest brother on Earth. And we kind of put them down there and go, that's where you belong, in the cage, in the zoo, in the wild. And we don't actually like have conversations with them, not on an intellectual level,
right,
ever. It's like, it's cute when they're able to do like math or talk to each other or pay money. Mm-hmm. Like there's all kinds of weird stories. Like they gave monkeys money and to see what they would do with it. And it was something weird where they would pay the monkeys to have sex with them. Like it's
the oldest profession around,
exactly.
baby.
Like they saw the value of the token and they just used it to get sex. It was like this weird thing. And it's like, that's cute. But they do human-like features. It's cute when your dog can walk on its hind legs and do a trick.
Right.
That's how aliens would look at us. If they were able to make it all the way over here, they would be fifth-dimensional beings just like in Interstellar, and we wouldn't be able to fucking reason with them at all.
Right.
They would be way beyond. This is all me kind of just directly stealing from Neil deGrasse Tyson, by the way.
Right.
This is his speech.
Right.
Is that aliens wouldn't bother with us. It would be cute that we have astrophysics.
Right.
Like it's
right.
cute that we can do calculus. Like that's cute to them because they're on another fucking plane.
Right.
We wouldn't even be able to talk to them.
Okay.
You sure it would be cool, but it's not going to happen.
So you think it's just human vanity? Do you think that we're so important that somebody would actually even want to
It's just human vanity. That's a great way to put it. It's just human vanity. It's science fiction. It's fun. It's
right.
fun to think about and talk about, but it's like, it happening anytime soon? I don't think so. I mean, I would totally be thrilled. And it would be, I forgot to mention, it would be a great thing if it happened because we are so caught up in a lot of these religious beliefs.
Right.
And I think that if an alien species were to come and talk to us, it would kind of annihilate a lot of what is allowing people to hold steadfast to certain religious beliefs.
Okay.
It's like it would make you question everything you ever fucking knew about Jesus, about Muhammad, about whatever. It's like because it's all intrinsically tied to just our perspective as humans.
Right.
And this limited scope of the universe.
Right.
Whereas if aliens came over here, it's like, holy shit,
right.
I gotta rethink all of this that I knew before.
Yeah.
That's why it would be such a godsend if that happened, in my opinion. But I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon.
So what about Stephen Hawking said something to the effect that if they were to come visit, that their only real drive for any type of interaction would just be to rob the Earth of its resources.
It's a possibility. I mean, the Earth is a very precious place.
Well, it's precious to us.
It's not just precious to us. It's precious to life and offspring. It's precious to it's a habitable environment for life. Mars is not habitable. Mercury and Venus are not habitable. It's like Earth is a special place in the solar system, and any other Earth-like planet is special because it harbors life.
Okay, but you see, the thing is that we're limited to our senses, and even there's so much stuff that goes beyond. Like we see such a small field of the visual spectrum.
Yeah,
you know, there's certain sounds that are past our audible senses, taste, sight. We're limited by this, and we think that things can only exist within those parameters.
As far as we know,
yeah. Which to me, we may have to redefine what it is that is life. So, and I'm saying that to say that what we deem as an inhabitable planet, like I look at Jupiter, and to me, from what I've heard, it's just a one big planet that's in just one big violent hurricane for the most part.
Chaos. It's just chaos.
Yeah, it's chaos to us because it's impossible for us to live in any kind of conditions like that. But what if there's things that's outside of our spectrum? What if there's things that exist that see that as a walk in the park? That's just an everyday occurrence. Because on some level, kelp that move and flow with the ocean is probably a very crazy, hostile environment to another species that could be like, how in the hell could you survive in a place where waves are constantly crashes on you 24 hours a day, 24/7, 24 hours a day?
But those creatures would be beyond anything we could possibly interact with.
But that's what I'm saying. So to say that there's absolutely nothing on those particular planets, there's nothing as far as our realms of perception.
Right. It's just entertainment speculation.
Right. We're just having a conversation.
Right. But I'm saying that's all you can, that's as far as you can get with it. Because like people were talking about, well, what if humans came from Mars? It's like, okay, now what? Now where does this conversation go? What does that fucking mean?
Right.
The only thing that can mean is religious fanatics are going to deny another thing that we discovered. That's all that really means.
But if somebody came down and it wasn't on CNN and it wasn't on your Twitter feed and said a big gigantic spaceship or whatever, or a beam of light or whatever, and they showed up within our plane of our senses and acknowledged themselves undeniably, you can't, update your Facebook and says that's bullshit because it's in your face.
Right.
Here's a better question. Does it concern you?
No, not in the least. Not at all. It's like if an alien species were to come and try to destroy this place so they could have it for themselves, like something out of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, it would happen so fast. There's so much out there that could easily destroy us.
Oh, yeah.
We wouldn't know it. Like if a star explodes, like a supermassive star explodes, it lets out this intense, it's called a gamma ray burst. If it hit Earth, within 1 hour, our atmosphere would be gone. It's quick. It's like, it's not really something to be worried about because if it happened, we wouldn't have much time to think about it.
Right.
It's like, well, just sit on your couch and this will all be over soon.
Right, right.
Okay, let's go into our bad things.
There you go.
So this is something I've been kind of harboring for a long time. And maybe you'll understand what I'm talking about when I say this. It used to be Fry's Electronics. For those of you who don't know, in LA, Fry's Electronics is a store where you buy computers, you can buy TVs, you can buy DVDs, and a whole bunch of other shit. It's a
gadget wonderland.
It's a gadget wonderland. It's pretty cool. What sucks is the employees. And so my bad thing, is Apple Store employees. Not the geniuses, just the average employee. Now,
they seem so helpful.
Now, oh, really? Are you being serious?
They do seem so helpful.
Okay, let's go into this. So, as I mentioned a couple episodes ago, I've been looking for a MacBook Pro for a writing machine. Now, if you look at the MacBook Pro 13-inch, there are 3 different processors you can buy. The i5 2.7 gigahertz dual core, the i5 2.9 gigahertz dual core, and the i7 3.1 dual core gigahertz, 3.1 gigahertz dual core. I know that there's like this inherent difference with much stronger processors between the i5 and the i7, and I wanted to know if that was mirrored in the laptops for dual core processors.
Right.
I really didn't know the difference, and I wanted to know, do I need this for what I'm doing?
Okay.
And so I walked up to an employee, and I was like, so what's the difference between the i5 and the i7? And this dude just like had this dumb look on his face, and I'm like, oh, God damn it. You're telling me things that don't make any sense, because that's garbage. But this girl tried to chime in.
Right.
And the moment she started talking, I wanted to put my hand into her face because she was so fucking dumb. She's like, oh, the processor has nothing to do with speed. I'm like, on what fucking planet does a processor have nothing to do with speed? And she's like, the RAM is what what gives you speed. I'm like, really? Is that what gives you the speed? The RAM. And I was so fucking mad, and I had to just hold my tongue, and I'm like, I had to nod my head and go, okay, thank you so much. I'm so ignorant. I was so fucking mad at her horseshit bullshit. I'm like, you need to just fucking give up your body to science, or give your body up to people on the organ donor list, because they're waiting for valuable body parts that are probably, and they're smarter than you and can contribute more to society. Fucking stop what you're doing. So for those of you who don't know, the processor is like a car engine, right? And the RAM is like the size of your gas tank.
Right.
I like to look at it more like Goro. Like your computer's like Goro.
You're talking about the sick term?
The guy from Mortal Kombat. It's
yeah.
And the processor is like how fast he can hit you, and the RAM is how many arms he has to hit you with.
That's actually pretty good, yeah.
So, computer geeks will like that one. There was another instance where I was at the Apple store when the iPhone 6 and the 6 Plus was dropping.
Okay.
Everyone fucking knows the iPhone 6 Plus is monstrously huge. And there's this little thing you can do where you double tap the home button
Right.
to bring down, and it's called reachability.
Right.
Now, when I first got my hands on the phone to play with at the store, I was double pressing the home button, and all that was happening was the screen would just turn on and turn off.
Right.
And it's like, where's this reachability thing? It would just send me back to the home screen. So I turned to this Apple Store employee, right? And I asked her, how do you turn on reachability? And she goes, do you mean accessibility? And I'm like, no, reachability. And she's like, what's reachability? And I'm like, this is your flagship fucking phone. If you go to the Apple website, there's like 7 products. You can't tell me, you can't take the fucking time to go to your website and know the 7 fucking products that you guys are selling.
Want to.
Come on. It's like, this is your flagship fucking phone. I know for a fucking fact everyone coming into this goddamn store is asking you about the phone. Everyone is asking about the iPhone 6 and the 6 Plus. And you don't know what the fuck reachability is? Are you fucking kidding me? And I asked her again, no, reachability. And she goes, I don't know what that is. You don't mean accessibility? And she asked me twice. I want to fucking punch her in the teeth. I was so fucking mad. And eventually I found it. I turned it on. But it just goes to show you how little. It's like the Apple Store is supposed to be this place where they're super helpful and everything's simple. Everything's simple. Nothing's fucking simple about these Apple employees because none of them know what the fuck they're selling.
You know what it is I think was going on? Because when the Apple stores first started coming out, they did seem to have, before the Genius Bars, when it was just the employees there was a sense of, hey, welcome to this magical place where we have these delightful little things that you're going to enjoy, and we'll show you confidently how they work. What happened is, I think, is that Apple went mainstream.
They did. And they've hired a bunch of whorebags and dickheads.
Well,
basically.
now we've got the same. Instead of having those delectable, awesome people that are coming to help you, we've got a bunch of Walmart employees now.
Yes. Yeah, and they're all pretty, or they're like hip looking.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like they try to out hip the other.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, well, I got the extra cool tattoo. Nah, but I got the hook in my nose. But nah, man, I got the thing that blows out my ears. Nah, I got you beat. I got one eye and a hook on my hand.
It takes me 2 seconds to realize that I know 20 times as much as the employee. And it makes me angry every single time. And I'm partly stupid for just like going back and having the audacity to ask them a fucking question that I would think they would know as part of their fucking job.
Welcome to Walmart.
Yeah,
Welcome
exactly.
to Walmart.
Exactly. Like you go to Fry's Electronics, it's the same fucking thing. Like you try to ask them a question about a DVD player or something like that, or a TV, whatever it is. And what do? They pick up the package and they read it. And they go, no, it doesn't have that.
Okay, now, I have to admit, back in the day, I used to work for a company called CompUSA. It's gone out of business. I don't even know if you guys
I didn't even know that you worked for Compusa.
Yeah, man. Compusa, yeah. And I can't lie. We would get so much product coming in, so many gadget stuff product, and we would have like these little training sessions, and they come in and show you the booklet and go over, like glaze over the general idea of what this product does. After a while, after a few months of working there, the fuck it's come in.
Yeah.
Don't give a shit about this, fuck it. And I'll learn on the fly. And you learn on the fly with customers.
Yeah.
So this brand new scanner would come in and somebody's like, well, what's the DPI on this scanner and stuff like that? And I'll be like, oh, what's the DPI? 1,200. Apple is not like the brand Ferrari or Harley Davidson.
It's supposed to be.
Or a
the
Corvette
products are that
or
fucking
whatever it is.
expensive.
But it's not that anymore. I knew Apple changed forever when they made the affordable iPhone. Once they did that, the one that's not the 6,
no,
the one just the regular. Once they made that, that's when they were like, okay, we're gonna bow out and be like everybody else, because essentially it was an elitist kind of thing,
right?
But Google has been kicking so much ass, seasoned, solid ass, that they were like, we can't do that anymore.
I'm done. Apple Store employees. That's the bad thing. I hate them. They're fucking useless. All of them are fucking retarded. Talk to any of them for 5 seconds and you're gonna see that they're fucking like, what? What's the computer? Oh, it's all shiny. It's shiny. I didn't know it had buttons. It makes me so fucking mad.
Steven Spielberg.
Okay.
Steven Spielberg continuing to direct movies is a bad thing.
Okay.
I think that he should stick to producing. I think his time is coming past. Steven Spielberg is considered, and still is. I don't doubt his greatness before. I mean, we got classics: Schindler's List, Jurassic Park, Saving Private Ryan, which I think is one of his greatest pieces. And somewhere down the road, something went wrong.
He put his name on Transformers. That's what happened.
somewhere down the road, the last movie that I remember where I was like still halfway blown away was probably Munich.
I didn't like Munich
Because
at all.
right after that, I never said it was great now. I just said where I was totally like, fuck them all together. And I don't mean to say fuck them all together, but he lost me.
Yeah.
The aura of just, I'm in this place of amazingness,
Yeah.
this Disney World place. He lost me on War Horse. And after that, I was like, fuck this horse. I don't give a shit about this horse. I don't give a shit about this movie. And then it was just downhill after that. Now, on the flip side of that, he's been producing. And he's getting older, and the directing process is a very time-consuming thing. And I'm sure he's got a family he's trying to raise, the projects he's got to do. So he's throwing on his producer's hat instead of him making movies anymore, which he's kind of not the same anymore. He's just throwing money at movies. Yeah. Or he's at least getting the people to come around and that he knows that are competent enough to at least somewhat give a product that he's proud of. I think that is a better Steven Spielberg than the movie Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, I watched. You just said Munich, and that completely fucked me up. Like, I fucking hate that movie so much. No, and it's, you know what? It's like most of that movie was actually all right, but at that ending love scene or lack thereof,
right,
completely just killed me. I'm like, really, dude? That's what you're doing with this moment? It was. He's got like the flashes of the light while the Hulk was having sex with his lady. It's like, and it's like I understand that the atrocity of what happened there bothered that guy that much.
Right.
But the way that scene was put together felt like someone out of film school. Literally felt like some 18-year-old trying to be edgy out of film school put that together. And every film after felt like it was just getting worse and worse and worse. And Lincoln was like, it's kind of a saving grace, but it's boring. It's like, Daniel Day-Lewis was awesome.
Yeah, he's awesome in everything.
Awesome.
Though. Everything.
But that movie was so fucking long and kind of pointless. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, really? This is all that you're going to do with this movie?
Yeah. It's like, you know what it is? I think he's tired. I think he's director's fatigue. I think he's realized that because he's looking at Michael Bay. As much as I'm not a huge fan of his directing style, when it comes to putting money in the box office, he's brilliant.
He's a strong return on investment.
Yeah, he's brilliant. And I think if you put both of those directors together, Steven Spielberg and Michael Bay, creatively and finding interesting ways to tell a story, I still think Steven Spielberg can get Michael Bay even to this day. But when it goes back to this generational thing that we said in the previous episode, where our attention spans are so slow or so short, we have to have these fast cuts and big bright lights and stuff flashing and going around.
Yeah.
Spielberg couldn't adjust to that. Right. He can't adjust to that quick pace. Look at his old stuff. It's a lot of long cuts. It's good dialogue where you get a chance. It's meaty. You get very good, solid character development where he takes the time to let you explore who these people are. And then look at his later stuff.
Yeah.
There's no time for that style of directing to translate to this generation. So he kind of, to me, I think that's the reason why he fell off.
I think J.J. Abrams is the new Spielberg, essentially.
But he's the new Spielberg in feel. But he's the queen of, he's notorious for flashing a light into the damn lens. But he gets it. He understands that that's what people want. Yeah. But he's figured out a way to do that and still have strong emotional investment in the projects that he makes.
Right, there's still heart. There's still a lot of heart
there. With Michael Bay, there's no heart and shit.
Right.
You know, you just want to see somebody get shot. You want to see an explosion. Yeah. You want to see some loud sounds and some Transformers doing some cool shit. But there's not any emotional investment in none of his films.
I will hate on Michael Bay so much, but he did a movie called Pain and Gain. Did you see Pain and Gain?
I still haven't seen that.
If you guys haven't seen Pain and Gain, that's actually a really fun movie. It's really good. Surprisingly good. Anyways, guys, I think we covered these topics pretty well.
Yeah.
My good thing was your life. Your good thing was
meeting aliens.
My bad thing was Apple Store employees.
And my bad thing was Steven Spielberg continuing to direct.
That's it, guys. Hopefully you guys stuck through it all and enjoyed all the geniusness that has come out of this.
Brilliance! Brilliance!
If you guys made it this far, comment below, because I love hearing from you guys that watched it all the way through. I feel honored when we're able to hold your attention span all the way through. That I'm being totally legitimately serious here. It means a lot to me when you guys watch this all the way through, and that we're that entertaining to you guys. Comment below, let us know what you think. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you guys for watching. Have an awesome day.